Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is The Truth Trucking. My name is Kevin, where I talk to you guys about my personal experience that have happened or are happening day by day in the trucking industry. Today I want to talk to you about several different topics. Before I go ahead and jump into that, I do want to give you guys an update. As you can tell, we're already back in our truck. The AC got taken care of. They changed the whole system, compressor, everything had to change. So unfortunately, the quick fixes that I tried doing didn't work. Well, that's all right. Everything got changed. 8 brand new tires in the back. That means we're nice and ready to go. My driver's side on the front had a leak. I don't know if I told you guys, but we did get that taken care of. It was a valve stem issue. I think that was the only things that we had. The tires necessarily weren't even that bad either. It was just more of like, hey, might as well type of thing. But all right, guys, today's topic that I want to talk to you about is one of the main ones is the loads. What's going on with the industry. But obviously, as always, before I go ahead and jump into that, please guys, do me a favor. Don't forget to hit that like button, that subscribe button, and the bell notifications. That way you guys are always notified whenever I upload a new video. And as you can already tell from my channel, I will be also uploading videos in Spanish since I am bilingual. Guys, anything you want to talk about, any questions, any topics, please feel free to leave it in the comments section. Any negative comments, positive comments, it's all appreciated. If you guys can share these videos, maybe you are in the industry, you don't need this, but you have a friend that wants to start, someone that keeps it real like myself and says nothing but the truth, you might want to share this video for them to see, so that way they know what they're getting themselves into in this industry. But all right, let's go ahead and jump into it. Right now, as you can already tell, I like to tell people the economic situation of the industry, it's crazy. It's insane. And I know a lot of truckers may sit here and argue with me, but let's be realistic. It does not pay right now to be owner. It does not. As I've seen owner-operators, they are hanging their hats. These guys are selling their trucks, selling their trailers. Why? They can't afford to be an owner-operator. Now, mind you, not everybody is doing this. What could be the differences? Personally, because I am learning so I can be an owner-operator myself one day, I've noticed a couple things. If you're not good with your money and you're spending as much as you earn, that's your first downfall. Second, you're going to need a great accountant. When Uncle Sam comes knocking, you need a good accountant. And I feel like maybe a lot of drivers don't have that. And they're not thinking about the future. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not the perfect driver. I'm not the perfect citizen where, yeah, I save all my money. No, that's absolutely not true. But I am noticing that a lot of owner-operators are to that point, or they're making just enough to survive. Why do I feel like that is? I think we learned with the whole COVID situation, this industry, it is pandemic-proof, but it is not recession and inflation-proof. Let me repeat that again. This industry is pandemic-proof. This was one of the best jobs to have. I've seen a lot of new people in the industry that were doing certain jobs that weren't needed during the pandemic. You weren't an essential worker. We could sit here and argue all day. Sitting in the seat, you are an essential worker. Sorry, it's a little cold. So I see the industry's kind of growing. It grew. It was like an inflation of drivers. Then, things started taking turns for the worse. A lot of these people were signing leasing or being contract division with these mega carriers, and these gas prices skyrocketed. It wasn't worth it anymore. I work company, and even then, I try to keep in mind my boss's pockets as much as I can, just because his pockets are technically my pockets. If he gets paid, I get paid. If he doesn't get paid, how do I get paid? So even just the smallest details, like, hey, I gotta get fuel. We only fuel at Petros and TAs. Okay, I gotta make sure I when I do my pre-trip, not my pre-trip, I'm sorry, when I look at my whole trip in general, when I look at my whole route that I'm gonna be taking, when I just everything, where I'm gonna stop for the night, things like that, I look throughout the entire path. Where can I fuel? Can I make it there with the fuel I have? Should I put maybe 30 gallons here, and then over there I'll put this much? And you'll learn that in the mega carriers. Don't get me wrong. You will learn that with mega carriers. Unfortunately, it is not something common for smaller company workers to do. You got to keep it in mind, because these companies are struggling. You know, I see the difference. I see the difference in my paychecks. Not a whole big difference, but I do see it. I feel like I still make above the average truck company driver does. Mind you, I get paid under my LLC, of course, but I see the differences. Now, I don't know what's going to happen with the industry. There's so much talk where people are saying, no, the industry's going electric. They're not going to need drivers. Honestly, in my personal opinion, I think that'll never happen. There's nothing more that I mean, a human being can assess a situation better than a machine, in my opinion, as we've seen in movies and all that good stuff. A lot of, we've seen mega carriers as well. I forgot which one it was. There was a mega carrier that basically had to sell all their equipment. They were done. They couldn't afford the industry anymore. That had been around for, I think, 100 years. And guys, maybe it's bad money management. Maybe it's the industry. Maybe it's the drivers. Who knows what it is? Some people want to get political. Oh, it's Biden's fault. It's Biden's fault. These gas prices, they are insane. Thankfully, they've been going down a little, but I mean, is it that much? Thankfully, I got this load now. It's going from Miami to Massachusetts. Great load, good miles. But the problem is always getting out of Florida as well. And I'm not going to sit here and talk about the hurricane situations, but anybody that's a driver knows going to Florida, you'll make some good money. Getting out of Florida, guys, I've had situations where I've had to drive 700 miles empty from literally Doral, Florida, to maybe somewhere in South Carolina, just to get pick up a load then and then head up north. There's a lot of factors to blame to that as well. That's just Florida. I guess that's just part of the game as it goes. So if you are a driver or looking to get into the industry and you live in Florida, keep in mind, they don't mention this, but these mega carriers kind of, oh man, he's from Florida. We're going to have to give him that Florida home time. It's kind of unspoken. It does happen though. Guys, believe me, it does happen. So keep that in mind. Especially when it came to home time when I worked for a mega carrier, it was to say the least very difficult because we and even then, yeah, these mega carriers make millions of dollars. Even then, I was very conscious about their pockets because we'd maybe drop off a load in Lakeland and then drive another 200 something miles empty, and then 200 something miles up again to get somewhere in North Florida to pick up a load after our home time. That's a lot of things to keep in mind, guys. This industry, I don't know where it's going right now. A lot of people are going to tell you don't listen to the BS. It's every man for themselves. I feel like it at this point. I truly do. What's this guy doing in front of me? What are you doing? You trying to slide your tandems or what? Anywho, it's got a little too close for my comfort. Where does the industry leading? I see a lot of people are saying different things. Is it a good time to be in the industry? Me personally, I do think so. Yes, it is a good time to be a company driver. I don't think it's a good time to be an owner-operator. I don't think it's a good time to start a trucking company. I'm seeing a lot of people, even YouTubers, hanging their hats. Guys, there's smart ways to do it, how to get into the industry. This is a good paying career. Like I've always said, it's a lot of sacrifices, but that's okay. Understand how the loads really are going to work, especially when you're in newer trucks where you have DEF, things like that, where you can actually travel to every state. Me personally, I can't go to every state. I idle my truck. I can't go nowhere near California. But you got to keep all these things in mind when you jump into a trucking industry, and into the trucking industry and into a mega carrier. Keep everything in mind. Keep the loads, keep the fuel count, because even if you're working for, let's say, a mid-sized carrier or a small carrier, guys, you can tell just by how the economy of the industry is whether, hey, I think these guys are going to go out of business soon or not. So maybe this video was just a little bit of a rant, a little bit of explanations of sort of different things. Guys, as always, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment. leave me any feedback. If you feel like maybe there's something different that I don't know, that this industry is not the way I think it's going right now, if, oh, it's a great time to be an operator, please leave it in the comments. I'd love to talk to you about that. I'd love to pick your head about it. And yeah, guys, share the video if you can. Thank you so much. And stay tuned for another video in English. And then also I'll be uploading my videos in Spanish.